Welcome to Brain Boogerz. I'm MJ, and today we'll do a quick pick on the concept of fog and how it can hamper our vision, development, and growth. Before we dive in, do me a favor. If you haven't, please click the subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss the latest. Share this episode with someone who could use a little inspiration and conversation. Your experiences help us all move forward together. And please note, the content shared on this podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only, to spark conversation and self-discovery. This podcast does not offer medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you are experiencing mental health issues or have inquiries concerning your well-being, it is advised to seek assistance from a qualified healthcare provider or mental health professional. With that said, fog is a term originally coined in the context of manipulative relationships, especially with narcissists or in toxic family dynamics. It describes the emotional cloud that keeps us stuck: fear, obligation, and guilt. When you're in the fog, it's hard to see your way out. Fog comes from the work of Dr. Susan Forward, who first described it in her book, Emotional Blackmail. It's a tool for spotting when fear, obligation, or guilt are clouding your decisions, especially in situations where you feel manipulated or stuck. Fear is worrying about what might happen if you don't comply or please others. Fear can sound like, "What will happen if I say no?" Or,
"Will they leave me if I set a boundary?"
I've definitely been there, worried about the fallout of speaking up. The truth is, fear is often exaggerated in our minds. One way to break through is to ask, what's the worst that could actually happen? And could I handle it? Usually, the answer is yes. Obligation is feeling like you have to do something even if it doesn't align with your values or needs, sometimes at the expense of your own well-being. This is the sense that you owe someone your time, your energy, your loyalty, your attention, your money. Maybe you've felt like you can't say no to a family member or coworker because it's just what you do. But healthy relationships aren't built on debt. Try flipping the script. What do I actually owe myself in this moment? And then there's guilt. Guilt is carrying the weight of responsibility for someone else's feelings or outcomes. Guilt is the voice that says, you're selfish if you take care of yourself, or you're a bad person for putting up boundaries. I remember feeling guilty the first time I declined a friend's request for when I was already overwhelmed. These emotions often work together to keep us in unhealthy patterns, whether it's in relationships, at work, or with family. Recognizing fog is the first step to clearing it. When you're struggling to say no or feeling pressured, pause and ask, is this fear talking? Am I acting out of obligation? Am I motivated by guilt? Naming the emotion gives you clarity, so you can choose your next step from a place of strength, not pressure. If we look at fear, obligation, and guilt, something that is often used against us instead of to our advantage, we can master our responses and reactions to situations seeming to veil us in fog. Instead of letting fog cloud your path, let it become a signal to pause, reflect, and choose growth. It's not about erasing these emotions, but about using them as stepping stones toward your most authentic self. When we recognize and reframe them, they can actually become catalysts for self-awareness and positive change, helping us grow internally rather than being used against ourselves or others. Fear often signals what matters to us or where we want to grow. Instead of letting it paralyze, use it as a guidepost. Ask, what is this fear protecting me from? What value or dream is underneath this fear? How can I take a small, safe step forward despite feeling afraid? Fear then becomes a compass, pointing toward areas of potential and courage. Facing it with curiosity builds resilience and self-trust. Obligation reminds us of our commitments and values, but it's healthiest when it aligns with our authentic self, not just external pressure. Ask, is this obligation in line with my values and goals? Am I choosing this or just defaulting to it? And how can I balance responsibility with self-respect? Obligation can foster integrity and reliability when chosen consciously, rather than out of habit or people-pleasing. Guilt can be a signal for reflection and making amends, but it's not meant to be a permanent state. Ask, is this guilt pointing to something I truly want to change? Can I use this feeling to repair or learn, then let it go? And am I taking on guilt that doesn't belong to me? Guilt, when acknowledged and processed, can lead to meaningful change, empathy, and stronger relationships with yourself and others. Like the goat tamping down the soil, you can use fog for growth. Notice when fog shows up. Name it without judgment. Ask what the emotion is trying to teach you rather than shaming yourself for feeling it. Decide with intention how to act or communicate instead of reacting out of habit. And then, if someone tries using fog to influence you, recognize it and assert your own needs with respect. Remember, fog is normal, but you don't have to stay in it. With awareness and self-compassion, you can set boundaries and move forward with confidence. Thanks for joining me on Brain Boogerz. If today's episode helped you see your world a little differently, hit subscribe, share it with a friend, and keep the conversation going. Until next time, when you feel a fog surrounding you, stay aware, keep growing, keep moving forward, and keep questioning your fears and obligations. Take care, and join me next time where we'll pick and dig in on Brain Boogerz.